No sweat, no sweat. Let's get it in. Yeah, I was up there.
Shalom, sir.
But question, I don't know why you have all this UPK and stuff on top of my head, so
Slugger?
you have this whole all up there. It's all way of looking. Like, you think nobody don't know it's UPK?
I was told before to have the...
Don't do that with me. I just need that TV thing. See the TV where it's just right to here and here? Yeah, I need that. I don't need... They're tuning in. They know it's UPK. They see the sheep and lions. I don't need all that extra, background stuff. So why that? Yeah, don't do that no more. No sweat, no sweat. Okay, that camera's a little too low, and it's slanted. So you want to raise it up some more. Can it go higher? That is the eye level. Bring it up to my eyes. That's look like about eye level. That's it go. That look a little bit better. Just straighten it up. Make sure it's look. See, all you need is a little direction and all that. That's all. That's all. You got it. All right, you can bring it in closer to the table too. Okay, closer. Don't let it touch the table because if I move it, it's more vibrant. Just angle it and make sure it's straight. And let it be like that all the time, all right? Let it be like that all the time. I don't think it's straight. Time. Look at it. See better?
Sir. I'm judging by the shield, sir. The lines in the shield.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
See better? All right, yeah, that's always better than that vertical. Let's call that like not nauseating. I forget the word, but that vertical up look. Don't do like
sir.
You know what I mean?
I'm used to that view, sir.
Do you ever look at anything like this?
Yeah, all y'all.
No.
I'm playing.
Oh, you mean from there? No, but this ain't affecting your view down there. you in class, you was like this. But if you watching anything on the screen, you don't do this.
Right.
Even if you go to the movie theater, you want to go to the back so you can look straight. The worst seat is up front when you're like this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't want that. And it ain't nothing more frustrating than somebody who watching a screen and can't tilt it.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, the view is still like it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Like if we watch something, you trying to move.
Yeah,
your head like it's gonna move.
It's too weird of a view, man. It's way too weird of a view.
That's a foul war scarf.
Oh, Musa and Chris. I don't like the color. Y'all think of that? I'm gonna have to give this away real quick.
Why you say?
I don't like that silver.
You don't?
Nah.
I thought that's what it was. That brought it out to me.
I mean, I don't like it. This is what I had for the moment. I think I'll watch some of the rest of them. Trying to look fly like y'all, man. You see, I want to see the shit. He's like, oh shit, that's my color right there. You got the next one. Don't worry about it. He just made the cut today. He just made the cut. I wasn't, he reached up here and that he's like me, and like, yeah, I'm gonna take that off your hands. Just made the cut. I have no use for nothing like this in y'all stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, for that. What's going on? Shit, I might just hold on to it. Shit, you're extra brotherly today. Goddamn. Sylvester call our brotherhood. Shit.
I take somebody else that you know.
Listen, that's what the brothers is for. The scripture say iron sharpen iron. You know what I mean? The common man, my girl, like a crib. Shalom. Oh, sorry. I offended you. Just enough question on it and just enough statement on it. You don't know if it was an apology. Sorry, I offended you. I figured it out, you know. I know exactly. I figured out the salt and pepper ratio. That should come in through with good seasoning now. DC joke for anybody who's looking.
Like, so I had a couple questions too, sir.
No sweat. We gonna get it. All right, we gonna get it. No, I'm thinking because I had the view right the first time. Because I ain't gonna tell you nothing again, man. I think you on point with it. No. It's just better straight up.
Come on, concept.
Yeah, man.
It's like I just pulled it up a little bit.
What's that?
The camera, I just pulled it up a little bit.
Okay, it's not straight though. Maybe that's why. Just even it out, straighten it out. If you don't mind.
You already got a $4 one?
Yeah. I'm straight up. I'm straight.
Oh, come on.
No refills tonight, though. No need for a refill, Yeah, that's just fill up the gas tank on Sunday, last the week. You know, go. All right, tonight we're going to go through the Sabbath day breakdown. And I know I had one from Luke 17 to bring out as well. All right. Okay, what we got? We good? Okay, y'all know the Sabbath day, right? Let me get that out of the way first, and then I'm gonna take whatever questions, and then we'll do the other one in Luke 17. All right? All right, Sabbath day. You hear so much things about the Sabbath day, right? What you can do, what you cannot do on the Sabbath day. When it is exactly. What else? What else do we have about the Sabbath? I believe that's the main arguments, right? The main things are the battle. When is it? What you can do on the Sabbath day.
Because I told me to get with you on that when you pour the wine in the cup and you say Yashaala, he said he gave a short breakdown. He said you might have a deeper breakdown. Right?
What do you mean? Like when you say La Yashaala?
Yeah. What is that exactly for in the ceremony?
It's a toast. You know, people party and they toast. You know, everybody get a drink. Gather around. Everybody get a drink. And this is to good times. This is to, Jordans. This is to the Milwaukee Bucks. They win, right? This here is the toast to Israel. La Yashaala means to Israel. I'm drinking this for Israel. It's just that's our culture. Toasting is part of our culture. You're not going to see that in any other nation's culture. Something kind of feeling back there, probably vibrating on something. Right? You're not going to see that in any other nation's culture. You're not going to see that in any other so-called religious practices. You're not going to see it anywhere like that. This is strictly from us because once again, we are that classy people. We are the salt of the earth. Like everything we do that's part of our traditional culture, you could find it today in what you'll call pop culture.
Right.
You could find it somewhere, either inspiring some modern trend or being the root of some modern practice that's common. but most damn near everything you could trace it back to biblical culture or something from the Bible or just black people in general. So that it's damn near like a toast. You just not everybody's knocking glasses. You the one drinking. You get the point? It's to Israel. It's like that. Cool? No sweat. Okay, so good. We get a little bit more on this here. You might have to reposition it. That's probably why it echoed. You know what I mean?
So it's like you keep it the other chord.
Come. It don't look like the one we're supposed to use.
Ain't no sweat. Just try tapping it up a little bit. You might need it because it was good just now. It's just a little too high. 1, 1, 2, 1. Ain't nothing on it now. All right. I mean, I don't know. Will it go in and out?
It's gonna go in and out, sir.
No sweat. Might be good for now. If it go again, just leave it in a place where we can grab it easily. But if it go again, now we know. All right. Sabbath day. What's he pulling first?
Mark 2:27.
Let me hear it.
Come, sir. Mark chapter 2, verse 27. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath.
That's a good scripture. I wouldn't pull that one first. I wouldn't go with that one first. Come on.
This one was for, that's when they say, you can't push your button on the microwave, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's what that scripture was for, like you can't.
Yeah. You could, that's in there. That's in there. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
So like Leviticus 23:3.
That's probably where I would start. All right, I would start with Leviticus 23. All right, let me get that for you.
Sir. Just a title to the class.
Just put Sabbath day for now.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest.
Read from 1.
Sir.
Start at 1.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
Right. So now this is Moses on the orders from the Most High, giving Israel instruction on what is going to be holy days according to the law. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done.
Say it again.
6 days shall work be done.
6 days. Even these are my feasts. These are my holy convocations. What is a holy convocation? Shabbat?
Obligated holy day, holiday.
Kind of, sort of. Because
I would say a separate gathering.
That's damn near literally what it means. Because holy means separate, convocation means gathering. Right? It's a separate gathering. It's a gathering, but it ain't, watching the game gathering. It ain't a gathering for a baby shower. Right? It is not. This is a separate gathering. It's coming together, but it's a gathering that's unlike other gatherings. It's not common. Right? Go ahead.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest.
Right? But the seventh day, 6 days shall ye work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath of rest. It's your day of rest. That's as plain and simple as it could go. Any Sabbath battle, that scripture is damn near like a one-hitter quitter. 6 days shall ye work, 7th you will rest. End of story. There's no, the Sabbath is every new moon. It doesn't say that there. Right? There's no, what's the proof that it's on Saturday? It's 6 days you're working. That's the proof. And if it is you saying the Sabbath is not Saturday on another day, then what other day will it be? Is it what, Wednesday for you? And if it is Wednesday, nigga, are you keeping it? You get it, boy? Like that's you would take it there if somebody has to argue. Somebody might say, well, Sunday is the day to worship the sun, blah 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 blah. How you could start the count on that day? Well, what day do you start? Well, we're supposed to start on Wednesday. Okay, no problem. 6 days from Wednesday is the next Tuesday. So then that is the next Monday. So then that Tuesday would be your 7th day. Do you keep the Sabbath on the 7th? And they're gonna say no anyway. You get the point? And that first script, that's where the breakdown is. 6 days ye shall work. 7th day you're gonna have to take a break, take a rest. Come on.
I had like a non-believer tell me about the Bible. If you replace the Lord with the word Son all through the Bible, I read it like that and see how much sense it makes. So I told him, I said, so you trying to tell me that the Son created the whole universe when it's multiple suns all around the universe?
He probably was high. He's not a non-believer. He's a believer. He's just a believer in weed.
Yeah.
He's a believer in Percocets and Mollies. That's what he's a believer in. He's a full-out believer. Just his belief makes him high. Right. You get the point? He's just high as shit. If you replace this with that, replace just, whatever. All right, so you start with that one. Boom. Where you going next? The Sabbath day.
Exodus 20 and 8.
Let me hear it.
Come on, sir. Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
That's too wild. That is too wild.
Okay.
That's a supplemental one. Go ahead.
It goes to 9 and 10 too, sir.
Let me hear it.
Verse 9. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Right.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Right. That's a good one to back up this one here. All right. Come on, let me hear you.
Oh yeah, come on, verse 11, sir. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea.
That's where I was going next. All right. So that one is good. You could read that. We at 20 and what?
Exodus 20 and 11.
11, right. Go ahead.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Right? So that from the first scripture, I was going to go definitely to Genesis, but that's a good one because it runs it down again and runs into why is 6 days and then 1 day of rest, because it's a memorial for the creation of the earth.
Right.
6 days the Lord toiled, and the 7th was his day of rest. Right? It says that, give me Genesis 2 and 1. All right, Genesis 2 and 1. It would go right along with Exodus 20, 10 and 11. All right? Genesis 2 and 1.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them.
Oh, read the verse before that one. Genesis 1 and what, 30 something? 31. Read the verse before that.
Genesis.
No, let them come on, go ahead.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 6th day.
Right? This is everything he made. The evening and the morning was the 6th day. Everything was made by them. Right? The sun, the earth, the waters, the fishes, the worms, the trees, man, woman, the deer, the oxen, everything was made by the 6th day, and the evening and the morning was the 6th day. Right? Now go to 2 and 1.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made.
Right? He ended his work. There was no more working because he worked for them 6 days. Go ahead, Shapat.
Sir, on the last verse where it say, and the evening and the morning was the 6th day.
Mm-hmm.
I've had somebody say, like, when using Ezekiel, saying that the day in the eyes of the Lord can be up to 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
They came straight to it, talking about, but the evening and the morning, it say the evening in the morning, like that's one day.
Okay, it's the Bible is the Bible is, what's the best way to put it? It's not an instruction manual for your blender. It's manifold and layered, right? The earth was not created in 1 week. The earth was created in an expanse, space of time. That's the best way to put it. Give me the scripture. A day to the Lord is as 1,000 years to man. I think it's Peter. I believe it's Peter. Right? You'll see it. So when the Lord said the evening and the morning was the first day, he's talking about how he checks the day for us. But when you look at the creation was not one day after the other. Right. It was a wide space of time consecutively. Right? You see, you found it?
Look at it, sir.
Please.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing,
mm-hmm.
that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years.
Right? As 1,000 years. Not is 1,000 years, but as 1,000 years. What does as 1,000 years mean, Shapat?
Like it could be, or it could be less. It's like
Don't think education. Don't think, classroom, university. Think niggas talking.
Same age.
Yeah, but what does 1,000 years mean?
Very long time.
A very long time. A very long time. So the Lord is saying a day for him is as a very long time for us. So the first day of creation, how long was that? How long did it take him to, in the beginning, what was space and it was void or something? Read it for me real quick. This is one-on-one. In the beginning. Okay, go ahead, Slack.
In the beginning, the Most High created the heaven and the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And the earth was without form
mm-hmm.
and void.
Go ahead.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Go ahead.
And the Spirit of the Most High moved upon the face of the waters.
Go ahead.
And the Most High said, let there be light. And there was light. And the Most High saw the light. And it was good. And the Most High divided the light from the darkness.
Go ahead.
And the Most High called the light day. And the darkness he called night. Mm-hmm. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Right. The evening and the morning was the first day. So Shapat, in that first day, he had a space. It didn't have no shape. It was void of shape. He had light. And he separated where there was light from where there was darkness. And he called over here where there was light day. And everything else was night. And the evening and the morning was the first day. Or the first what? If a day is as 1,000 years, so the first very long period of creation. Right? And that's how you have to look at it. Each day of creation was a very long period of time until a certain long period of time passed and we are at the end of the 6th day. Come on, RY.
So I can say from me, got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking to a brother the other day. He right here on the void of shape.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
No sweat. Might have to do that breakdown too. Come on.
I not my own mind, but I think I heard a breakdown in I.S.U.P.K is like Jupiter is just full of gas. It's not solid at all.
Yeah, but a better example is like, you're right. It's just an area. But just think like a construction site where there's nothing there, right? And you passing by and you see a billboard on the side, and it has high-rise buildings, come here to, you know, some old fancy name, Green Perfume Acres, something, something, something. Apartments and business and blah, 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 and a fun park. And you're looking at this board and you're like, wow. And all that's going to be here. But what's here right now?
Pile of bricks.
Not even the bricks yet. Nothing. Just dirt, like as you said, there's dirt on the ground. But there's nothing compared to what you see here. Think like that. Like, there was just nothing. It was without shape or form. Just like that billboard have shape and form. But when you look where they say this is supposed to be, there's nothing there with that shape or form. So it's like the Lord, and he had in his mind what he wanted. And he's looking at the space earmarked for it. But in that space right now, there's no shape or form there. There's nothing there in comparison to what he's about to put. You get what I mean? It's just space. It's without, you know, shape or form. There's nothing there, right? Except the waters. What's the waters?
The oceans. Waters is both those waters and outer space. Right? Outer space is, in the scriptures, is called the waters because it operates it has the same, not physical properties, but it has the same effect on physical things. Like how you float in water, same way you float in space. Right? Them old school, you ever see what's the show with Cuba Gooding Jr.? They call him Cookie.
Medavana.
Is Medavana?
Yeah, he was a scuba diver, sir.
Okay, what they call him Cookie, right? And he lost his foot?
Yeah,
you ever see that movie?
Nah.
Right? That movie where you see that old school scuba gear they would wear. It's not that, you know, that body suit with the tank that they wear now.
Right.
That scuba gear used to be, you know, a few 100 pounds or maybe 100 pounds.
Right.
You get the point? With the big, you know, fish helmet, you know, the glass that they put on your head. And like 3 men had to suit you up.
Yeah,
that's the same suit they used to go into space.
Right.
Because it's the same thing. There's no air, you can't breathe. You know, almost zero, not zero gravity, but, you know, similar. You get the point? 1 second. No sweats. Okay, no sweats. Right. I'm set stuff right now. Because it's already good, so let's get it. You have to. Right? So you have those same properties. You get what I'm saying? The way how it affects a physical object.
Right.
You get the point? A vessel, a ship, it needs power to move through it. The same way, like in the sea, a submarine. And if it stops, it'll just, what? If you stop powering it, you take the power off, it'll just continue to just keep going. Just drift, just like space. Right? So that in the Bible is called the waters. And you'll see later on, if you read Genesis, the Lord separated the higher waters from the lower waters. You get the point? The waters on the earth from the waters out there. All right? So that's what this thing, that's like without shape and form. Just an area that's earmarked, that there was nothing there. As the brother was saying, it's like gas. He'll have the gases, but don't think, you know, like there's gases here and there ain't no gases over there. It don't say that.
Right.
Just think a space that is supposed to have something that he knows what is supposed to be there. Just like somebody, a developer, before they come and dig up the ground and drive piles, that developer then meet an architect and a designer and have a drawing. They know what's supposed to be there. You don't. You driving by every morning going to Slave, hey, they're building something. I wonder what they're building. Somebody already know what the hell they're building.
Right.
You get the point? Long before, that thought is already up here, and then they get people to go do what they want to do. They even come on TV, a ribbon cutting. Yeah, we turn in the soil. Because there's nothing there, but they have a big celebration because they're about to build a hospital or they're about to build an airport. And over here, we're going to have a huge airport. They talk about it, and you looking, and there ain't nothing there, though.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, even at some of those celebrations, they cut the ribbon. They have like a little shovel, and they just dig a shovel into the first little thing.
Yeah,
right.
Because it's nothing there.
It's nothing.
They just put a shovel into the dirt.
And that to them is signaling the beginning of work. Right? That's just think Genesis 1:1 is that.
Right. So sir. So can you say that the continents was already here?
No.
It wasn't here.
Nothing was there. It was without shape or form.
Right.
If the continents was here, that the continents have a shape.
Right.
They have a form. There was nothing. There was nothing. There was no land. There was no earth. There was no planets. Nothing. Nothing was there. Right? Hold on. Let me don't say no planets. Let me don't say no planets because I don't say he created planets in days. You get the point? This is the creation of earth. You get the point? That's what it is. Don't quote me on the planets. Forget I mentioned planets. Just hold on. Look in here. Alright? I did not mention planets. Alright? Just look right there. Alright? Go ahead, Shipper.
In verse 3, when it said, "Let there be light," would that be like with the waters and you say goodness and gas, Big Bang Theory type?
That's Big Bang Theory, right? The Lord is the ultimate scientist. Let there be light is an explosion. Light. Just think light. Just like Big Bang Theory, the scientists say what? There was a huge explosion that come out of nowhere. Ain't nobody light, no match, no nothing. It just came out of nowhere. And that explosion is what started life. What is written in the Bible. They just don't read it. Let there be light. That's it. And if you want to bring it to today's terms, what will be an example of it today? Just like we had the example of the without shape and form.
Without shape and form?
Mm-hmm.
I would say Jupiter.
No. What will be the example today? Of same thing without shape and form.
You see what she's saying without shape and form?
Like how we describe.
What I think about is before you, the woman's womb, before you have a child.
Let's bring it back to my favorite topic, guys.
That's what I think about.
You're mad after my own heart.
When you say that,
y'all see why I leave the cap in his hands, man? Y'all see why I leave he think just tie it right back to that mood. It's good.
When you said
I don't think I'll have enough children. I'll do something about that. So like, yeah, I'm on a different topic. Go ahead.
Like when you first said that, I was like, oh, I can start using it to slang, like, you be saying, oh, so before you was born. I can start saying, this is before you was had any form. Like,
yeah, you have no shape or form. You can use it like that. But okay, this one is different. This one is, let's take the construction site, right? It's earmarked to be here. If you pass in there at night, it's dark. And then it was the first thing to put up for a construction site after the sign and the fence. Well, yeah, them big old floodlights, and it's lit. Boom, it's lit. And where there's light is where they're gonna do the work. Right. And where there's no light, they ain't doing no work there. Right. We're gonna call in here day, and we're gonna call outside of it night or darkness. We're gonna call in here light, or we're gonna call out there dark. That's that, right? Okay. So that would be that's how I would break it down to somebody today, so they could understand how the Lord operates for the creation. Okay. You get the point? I'll do a whole maybe next week I'll do the Genesis breakdown. All right. Okay. Where we at? You good with that?
Go.
Okay. Where we at?
Genesis chapter 2 and I think 3 or 4.
How we get over there? 1,000 years, right? A very long time.
I think we're going on for the 7th day.
Right. So now we have a consecutive periods of very long time. You understand? So you could say, if it's round about 1,000 years, you could say creation took about 6, 7, maybe 8,000 years, or 6 consecutive periods of very long time. And in the 7th and the last period of long time is when he made man, when he made Adam, right? Man was already created, is when he raised Adam up from the dust, when he gave Adam the truth on his day of rest. You get the point? So the earth wasn't created in 7 literal days. It was created in 7 consecutive periods of very long time. Big Bang Theory evolution, quote unquote evolution. It does tie into the Bible, except for monkeys coming and turning into people and all that bullshit. That's garbage, because why monkeys stop turning into people? How come they monkeys evolving today? You know, just becoming human beings. You get it, Brian? Come on.
Sloppy, on topic, off topic. Watching the devils trying to make science and Genesis together on a documentary. And first of all, they went to this Amalekite, you know what I'm saying, for the Hebrew. And he was talking about how Adam was created on the 6th day. I was like, what does this say? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that this how the devils has got it all wrong.
He was saying, say that one more time out, please.
You know how it says on the 6th day man was created. He said that Adam was created on the 6th day. I guess saying, you know, because it doesn't say he was going day by day. That's
okay. That's not science. That's Christianity.
Come.
Because what do Christians say about creation? Salaki, what do Christians say about creation of human beings? Today's the 21st?
Come.
What did they do?
That Adam and Eve was the first.
So if Adam and Eve was the first, and it says on the 6th day, let us make man in our image, male and female. Let us create. He created he then. That's in Genesis 1 and like 30 or 29 or something like that. Right? So a Christian, that's Adam being created. And they teach that that account was Adam being created. And then in Genesis 2, when they say he breathed breath into his nostrils, was a more detailed version of it. They don't read Genesis 2 and 1, where he says all his work was done and it was a whole new day. Right. That thing would breathe in air into his nostrils. They don't read that part. Right. Because Christianity, again, is more about dogma and doctrine. It's not the truth. Right? What happened on the 7th day was not creation. Right. Why? How you know that?
Because he rested.
Resting doesn't mean, you know, being created.
It says in verse 2, in 2 and 2, it said the Lord ended his work.
It says in 2 and 2, and all his work was ended.
Right.
The work he did, what was his work for the past 6 days or 6 consecutive long periods? Created. All his creating ended on the 6th day. So what was he doing on the 7th day?
Resting.
Chilling.
Right.
Chilling like Jake liked to chill.
Right.
And on that day, he told a brother what to do. You get the point? He gave a brother the truth who was already there. He just heard the truth for the first time ever and woke up.
Right.
He was given life, just like we was given life. Right. You heard the truth somewhere, but you was already walking the earth. You get the point?
Right.
All right. You'll understand it more when I do. You'll understand it more when I do the Genesis breakdown. All right. Okay, so you good with that, Shabbat? With the day and the extensive period of time? All right. So that's how you would break it down. All right. Okay, let's go back to where we are now. Sabbath day, right? So now it's a memorial for the Lord's work. It's a memorial for creation and the 7th day when he rested. And it's the same thing with us. We have 6 days to do servile work. We have the 7th day is a day of rest. Even in Exodus 20, 10 and 11, whoever's good with the Hebrew, just look up the Hebrew word for you shall do no work therein. And give me the meaning. Who has it? Not yet?
You said the part where it says you should do no work.
Yeah.
For work is like a sa.
What's it mean?
It means to do, fashion, accomplish, or make. To be done, to do, to work, to deal with, to act with effect.
Someone can might be missing something. Let me see if I catch up with you.
And then the second part is Malachi.
That's where you want.
And then excuse me. The definition for that one is occupation.
Say it again.
Occupation. Work. Business.
That's the work that you're not allowed to do on Sabbath day. That's slavery.
Right.
Get the point? That's servile work. It's not, flicking a light switch for the so-called Jewish man who think turning the stove on or dialing a number on his phone is work. That's not the type of work it's talking about here. This here is your occupation, like what you do for a living. Right. The Lord is telling you, take a break from it. It's healthy. Relax. Do what the hell you want to do. You get the point? Right. But you shall not do no servile work. This part here, give me servile work. You shall do no servile work there. With that, Leviticus 23. You shall do no servile work therein. Where is it? Go ahead.
Leviticus 23, verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days.
For the Sabbath I'm talking about.
It does say so.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire.
That might be for a different holy day. Give me the one you're talking about there.
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. And the seventh day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Mm-hmm. You understand? You're not supposed to do any servile work therein. Right? Also, this is talking to employers. Right. People who own businesses who are Israelites. Because why? You will be hiring who? Israelites. Right. You can't force somebody to come slave on the Sabbath day. You shouldn't. Get the point? You should close up and allow them to close up and be with their family and hang out. Make some babies like Nakama say, you know what I mean? Go and change something from without form to something with form. Right. You get the point? You go handle that business, all right? Let me get also Matthew 12. Give me Matthew 12, because of course after that is who was in the camp then? I think you probably was in the camp then, where they had this gusting so-called Jewish man cup, DCPD, wine. What's his name? Winefield? Yeah, Winefield, right? Some man came, of course. Some things you learn the hard way. So when you see a stop you from saying stuff on camp, don't do it. Some devil came up to the camp and started blaze on him. I got permission to blaze on him. I think I was like 500 or 5,000 something. Jonathan let me blaze on him. He went and told this cop, I said I was going to cut his head off. I did not say that shit. Salaki. But of course, the cop is looking for a reason to call the party wagon to arrest us all. So the cop comes up and said, did you just threaten somebody and nobody know what the hell he talking about? He said, yeah, he said you threatened him. We're looking for the devil. And I think the devil wasn't there at first. And he came up after. And of course, no, it's, nobody threatened him. I didn't say nothing like that to him. And of course, everything is on tape.
Right.
Let me see the camera. No, we had to keep filming. We have to keep filming. I'm not going to stop filming for you. Weinstein, because of course he's Jewish and entitled, and he's a cop, and he's about, they ain't no taller than this butler, shit you not. Nigga, I mean, he's like, yeah, tiptoe to handcuff you that short. He decides, he's not taking shit from no niggas, and he begins to wrestle Captain Nathak for the camera. Right? There's some pictures of it. There's some pictures of it somewhere on the internet where Nathak has the camera and he kind of twists Nathak's arm to take the camera away. Right? And then he's like, I'm taking this, we're going to review this. And that day I knew what it was to be a camp leader. Brother General Katham went into action and started chastise the hell out of that police and call him a goddamn thief and a criminal. And you can't take that without no warrant. You don't have no law. He's like, yeah, I can take it. He said, no, you can't take it unless it's a murder. Something he quoted. And I just stood there like, brother, that cop buckled all the way down and returned that camera like, yes, sir. I said, well, that's it. At the end, who do we fear? The father. I was like, I ain't letting no cop intimidate me and my men after that shit out. Brother, after that, they had a big court case in D.C., and DC police issued a statement that no cop is allowed to confiscate cameras. That was because of what happened on 7th and H. Right? They had it in the paper, they had it in all the DC bulletins. It was from him. Come to find out, he's not even attached to 1st District, which is the district where we have camp. He's part of some special task force for not domestic terrorists, but that's down there what they're trying to say, right? And they watch us, really. But he's there on duty when we're there because his job is to watch us. Get the lawyers and all that type of shit. He came here, they forced him to apologize. So some other day, I'm at the table, he comes by the camp, and he stands up right there with the light across. This is when we're beside, across from the Walgreens. So the table is right here, and I see him, and I'm looking at him, and he's, I know he's looking at me. So then I turn this way, I just say, Shalom. I said, what you say? He said, I said, Shalom, you're not going to greet me back? I said, oh, why would you say Shalom? He said, that's not the question. The question is, why are you here? You're Jewish. You're supposed to be worshiping the Sabbath. I said, I'm not Jewish. I'm a real Jew. I said, how you know about it? Are you Jewish? And he make a smirk. I said, well, I'm a priest. This is my job on the Sabbath. Why are you working? Is you Jewish? And that's how we found out he was Jewish. Because he had to come after and just say one little thing. Because our oppressor can't, in his mind, he can't lose. He can't take that L. He was wrong. He can't take the L, so he has to come back and say something. And of course, we report it up and more paperwork again, because that's religious discrimination. He's using his power. I haven't seen Winefield for about 10 years now. I haven't seen it. You remember, you know what I'm talking about? He's about this tall. This little tall. The baton looked like a drag on the ground, the nightstick. He that short. But he think he have all this power and authority. Now I'm not going to fold him and bowl him down the damn metro. Right. But we ain't out there to harm nobody. You get the point? Right. Like he's saying, because we out here, it's Friday evening. That's when the Sabbath starts. We're not supposed to work. I'm a priest. You not. Why are you slaving? Why are you working? Because in their belief, you ain't supposed to be doing nothing. Of course, he's a hypocrite because he's Jewish and he don't even do what he believes. Right. You get the point? So that's what they think. They think that anything you do, you tie your shoelaces, work. You flick a light switch, is work. You turn the stove on, is work. You have to call somebody. To pick up the phone is work. And to dial the number is work. So they have a speaker system. And they call the maid, usually some Benjamin or Levite sister, to come dial the number. Because they can't work.
It's like back in the day, they used to say you couldn't even cook on the Sabbath. Right.
Back in the day, they still say that right now.
Right.
Right?
No, that's backwards though. They're trying not to break the Sabbath. They're breaking it by calling the maid.
But that's true. But then what is the maid?
She's a worker.
To them.
She worked for them.
But what is the maid to them?
Oh, not Jewish.
Not more than not Jewish, not even human.
Right.
It's like an animal. You get the point? It's not. This is not a human being that should be observing the Sabbath.
Right.
This is just, a dog that fetches your paper. You get the point?
It's like,
Come on.
when I was slaving as a concierge, and my first time I seen a Jewish families do Passover.
Mm-hmm.
And then Passover, it was just like 8 of them, and they had like a big dinner, and they just left all the plates there, left all the dirty plates for me to clean up.
Hell yeah.
I was like, damn, like y'all ain't
Like no, that's work on.
yeah.
Look at him.
I was like, yo, that's trifling.
It's like, sir, if I could, in New York, they have the big, tall buildings, so they don't want to walk up all the stairs, so they wait down in the elevator lobby for someone else to come by, so they can get in the elevator and hey, can you press this button?
Yeah, that's true. That's literal. That's literal because they like this and believe, same thing Christians believe.
Right.
You have some Christians today who say shalom and think they're different, who teach damn near the same thing. Right? So Matthew 12 is going to cut all of that. All right?
What verse, sir?
You can start at 1.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 1. At that time, Yahushua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were and hungry, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat.
Hold on, I might need to go skip up and hold on. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, now start right there. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. But when the Pharisees...
Shapa, take it from there, please. Right, Matthew 12 and 1. Please.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 1. At the time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were in hunger, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. Mm-hmm. Verse 2. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
Right, which is what?
Work.
What would be what are they considering work here?
Anything.
Specifically, just read it. Read it
to pluck the ears of corn.
Right. They saying that's the work. Right? To rip this ear of corn and eat it.
Right.
That's work, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did?
Right, so the Pharisees, they of course is the Christian leaders, they come in to charge Christ with breaking the Sabbath. Right? Because breaking the Sabbath would be what? Breaking Moses' law, and now they could get to punish Christ. They always wanted to come and find some fault with him. They always wanted to come and find some way that he was speaking against the law, speaking against the Bible, so that they could either kill him or charge him with something. They want to find fault with him, all right? Go ahead.
When he was in hunger, and they were with him.
Right, read verse 3 again, please.
Verse 3. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was in
hungered. Don't get caught up with the R's. And hungered. Don't skip over it. Just read it back out. Slack it.
Hungered.
Right, and hungered. That's it. All right.
And they were with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that they were with him. Verse 4. How he entered into the house of God and did eat the shewbread, which was not lawful for him to eat,
mm-hmm.
neither for them which were with him,
right,
but only for the priests.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Or have ye not read in the law how that Sabbath days, the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless. Verse 6.
What does that mean? Okay, so give me the first part. When David and them took the heirs of corn. Not the heirs of corn, the showbread.
It's like
because
it was when David and his men was on a run and they had no place to go. They was sleeping out in the wilderness. They were hungry. They came upon some priests that were friendly to them, and the priest gave them the showbread that was for the priests.
Exactly. Like this showbread is not to be eaten according to our culture and custom.
Right.
It's showbread. It's show.
Right.
For show. It's the display model. Right. You ever go to buy something in the store and they tell you, well, we ain't have no more sizes. That's the display. Yeah. Shit. And just give me the display, nigga.
Yeah, right.
I ain't nobody tried this on. Right. If anything, there ain't no feet than in this one. No matter how fingerprints on the outside, there ain't nobody put their foot in this one. Everybody look, what size is this? Yeah, bring me a 9 and put it back. I just clean the outside, but the rest of y'all going behind some feet, boy.
I ain't thinking that.
Yeah, I know. Making a dollar stretch would make you think about a whole new reason to make it acceptable. I'm joking, of course. Okay, so you have that, right? Read from the showbread, right after the showbread.
Which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. Or have ye not read the law, how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?
What does that mean?
So if I could, it means that the priests were doing work on the Sabbath because it was their job to work on the Sabbath.
To do what on the Sabbath?
What
would everybody else be doing on the Sabbath?
Like today's like working? You mean today? Oh, you talking about us?
What would everybody else do? We talking about the priests, right? What would everybody else be doing on the Sabbath day?
Teaching?
You the priest and everybody else teaches?
Oh, it's like it. Working.
I'll take that.
They'll be learning, they'll be attending the Sabbath service.
No, not for this. That's not the answer for this one.
Resting.
They'll be resting. They'll be doing nothing. What do you do on Sabbath? You get your ass up about 7 o'clock. Right. You send somebody a text letting them know you're going to be at the Sabbath. Start polishing that boots. You go brush your teeth, you bathe. Pass the car, you drag yourself to the car. I already know, because I've been there. And you start driving to do what? Go to work. Also to work and start thinking about your job like this, what you do here at work. This ain't a hobby. And this is not the boys club. This is a job just like flipping McDonald's or being a doctor. You're going to work. Just your boss is the Lord. You get the point? That will help you put things in perspective. You're going to work. Shapa.
I like to put it in perspective, like I'm a servant.
No, brother, you're an employee. You get the point? You're employed by the Lord. And your pay is your life.
Right.
You understand? And if you get fired, you're gonna be put to death. Think about it like that. You're not a servant, you're an employee. You have obligations to do. You have places to be on time. You get told what to do and you do it, whether you like it or not. Think more like that. Servant is right, but to put it in the proper perspective, this is a job, like every job. And if you look at it like that, the whole Bible will be it'll be better understood, right? So and the priest, he's getting ready to come to work. He opens up the temple. Opens the doors, turns the lights on, opens the windows, airing the place out. Then he starts to do what?
Light the incense.
Light the incense. He starts sweeping because this is the workplace. Just like if you open up your mechanic shop, or your McDonald's, or your law firm, right? You open up the door, open up the lights, you check the bathroom, make sure there's toilet paper because this is work. And then you begin to set up for work because you have a start time for your work. And then what's the most stores when they open up, they have a "we're open" sign, right? What's the "we're open" sign for your job? Arawadi, on that Saturday, on that Sabbath day.
We'll be clicking live.
They didn't have a live to click in here. That's a lot. When you blow that horn out, that's we're open. That's telling everybody we're open for business. Right. You understand? We're open for business. And as they come in, they're smelling the incense and they're smelling that show bread, and they're coming in. Everybody, whoever right on the outside, shuffling in because the prayers ain't started yet. So this is the last bit to get in before the prayers, because after you blow the horn is Laya Shala, and call up the man, and blow the horn again, and you unravel the screw line, do it in order. You all know what I'm talking about, and then I might now we going. This is he working. Right. Read the scripture one more time. Whoever was reading.
Come.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. Or have ye not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?
Right. And so when he say profane the Sabbath, meaning they work on the Sabbath and they're priests, but why are they blameless? You say, have you not read? They're blameless for what they do. Ain't nobody charging you for breaking the Sabbath. Without you, there would be no Sabbath service. You have to work on the Sabbath. You're a priest, right? Read on.
Come. Verse 6. But I say unto you.
And of course, your direct precept for that is 1 Samuel 21 and 6. Somebody pull it real quick, God. If you don't mind. 1 Samuel 21 and 6. I think it starts at verse 1.
1 Samuel chapter 21.
Chapter 21 and read verse 6. Let me hear.
Come. 1 Samuel chapter 21 verse 6. So the priest gave him hollow bread, for there was no bread. It's like there but the show bread that was taken from before the Lord, to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. Verse 7. Now a certain man in the
right, that would be a precept for before with David. You get the point? That would be a David precept, all right? Keep reading verse 6 from Matthew. Come on.
He said that's a precept for showing that showing what?
That's the one for David, when the priest gave David the showbread for the verse before.
And it's like, and you use the showing like, okay, well, how the bread get hot? It had to just come fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, they're making the bread.
So we had to cook on the Sabbath.
Hell yeah, you gotta prepare that. You gotta prepare that. Right. That's Levi. I forget. I'm talking to the pastor right there. So, yeah. You know what I mean? I got the unconscious people saying the ancestors spoke in his ear. It's the bread, brother. The bread. Right? They would be, of course, arriving early, setting up the temple, kneading that dough, or maybe from the night before, and now they'll come and put that in the oven. And that should come out fresh and hot. Ain't no microwave, ain't no beep. You know what I mean? Ain't none of that. It's the priest is working on the Sabbath day. You get me? Because their employer is the Lord. Their employer is not, the mall.
Right.
The employer ain't McDonald's. You get the point? All right, verse 6.
Come. Verse 6. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple.
Right, but what does that mean? Keep reading. Read it again.
Verse 6. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. Verse 7. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice. Ye would not have condemned the guiltless.
All right. Come on.
What verse you at?
Matthew 12 and 6 and 7.
This is Christ talking. Christ talking about himself. Or he's saying on the Most High. He's the one that's great.
He is talking about himself,
right?
But he's talking about himself in the context of, come on,
as being a savior of sacrificial lamb.
No, more so a man. Christ was what to us?
So he was a man, right?
He was what? What was Christ to us?
King
He was the king. What else?
Savior.
We see it all the time in Calvin.
Oh, I was going to say a sacrifice.
He was a sacrifice, but in this case it's different. In this case, that's not the context I want. We see it all the time in Calvin. Because?
I was about to say a black man.
Because he shit says he's a black man? I'm a black man? God damn.
Oh, Sly, he's our savior.
That's true.
Our teacher.
That's true.
He was perfect.
He was the best man to walk the face of the earth. So he's saying it as that from that point. In here, in this same place, there is one greater than the Sabbath. Right? That's what I'm saying? Greater than the temple, Salaki. There's one greater than the temple. You get the point? Go ahead. Verse 7.
Verse 7. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice. Ye would have not condemned the guiltless. Verse 8. For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath day.
All right. What does that say?
It's like the chapter. Which chapter you read against Matthew 12. All right. So it's just if you would have known that I was sent by the Most High, that I'm Christ, that I'm sent by the Most High, then you would have not. You would not try to come against me so much. Like even when they chose Barabbas, this is before they chose Barabbas over him, obviously. But they keep coming at him like trying to test, like trying to really see is he really the king?
But no, they didn't charge him here.
Okay.
Remember, read verse 2. Come on, read verse 2 again.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 2. Okay, but when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
Right? They charge him who?
His disciples.
Right? They complaining to him about his men.
Okay,
That's why he's saying, if you know what this meant, you will not blame the guiltless. You will not blame innocent men, which is what Christians always try to do. Christians, all them uppity niggas, when they talk about training your children how to talk to cops, what do they say? What do they say to tell your kids how to talk? Be how? Be respectful and put your hands where you can see and use certain words and no, don't dress like this. Dress like that. Why? Why not dress like this, but dress like that?
It's like it could, the way that in the police eyes, he'll harm you. You're trying to keep yourself from harm's way.
In the parents' eyes.
Respect the persons?
No, in the parents' eyes. The reason why black men get shot is because they talk reckless and their pants sag.
Right.
So their sons say sir, and look him in the eyes, and make sure you have on that little ugly Carlton sweater and some Dockers. You understand? Because that saves lives.
Right.
You understand? That's how a Christian thinks. You get the point? You see it all the time. You see it all the time. You could look it up. And any video with them talking about how to engage the cops. That's just one example. Another example is they say, what do they say? I'm a good dad. I do this, I do that. I'm not like these deadbeat dads. Right. As if that makes a goddamn difference. Right. You're a black man. That's what they don't see. But rich Uncle Tom Christian Negroes always blame the poor and blameless of us. Right. You get the point? Like them purple Christian sodomites would say, what? Who the hell? Why did he stop? Who the hell cares about Trayvon Martin? blaming this boy for his death by the hands of some murdering white man. They don't ever blame the devil. You get the point? That's how a Christian thinks, and they're doing the same thing here. Because these brothers who was with Christ, they wasn't, from the, the upper room. These was brothers who was, fishermen. You get the point? These was brothers who was the menial jobs. And they decided to follow him. They didn't have the greatest understanding. Half the shit he was telling them, they couldn't understand. They didn't even get it. They didn't grasp it. All they knew is, I'm following this nigga here. That's it. They ain't the bougie Christian Negro. They're the Ivy League scholar. And that's why everybody would blame them for everything wrong. You get the point? That's why everybody would blame that, and that's the spirit here. And Christ is saying, if you even understood what this meant, you wouldn't even fix your mouth to blame these men who innocent. They did nothing. But you want to, charge them for eating? Like, how vile could you be? Really, it's eating we're talking about. Remember the other scripture where they said, your men eat without washing their hands. Like, think about how high-minded and proud you got to be to say a nigga evil because he just coming from changing the oil and the carburetor and his soot and dirt all over him, and he grab a piece of bread and do this. Because it ain't going in your mouth. Mind your goddamn business.
And if they cared so much, and both cases, they could have said, "Damn, y'all here cooking corn. Y'all want something to eat? We got some food for y'all."
Good, you like that. That's the right spirit. Like, if you're so concerned about them breaking once again, it's like last week, the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law would have, I don't want these brothers to break the law. If I think they're breaking the law, let me help them not break the law. Right? Give me James 2.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If I may, to back what you said last week with the spirit of that, just by that concept you just said alone.
Oh, this week is more than a little heavy. So I forgot to ask, huh?
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy this week. It's heavy this week. Last week was a little heavy. This week is heavy. So what, I have a sip for that. Lock it could down. Good.
I was going to say the concept behind what you just said, custom as well, because it's I'm paraphrasing the scripture. Like, if a brother sin and you don't tell him, his sin is upon you.
Exactly. That's it. Like, and that's the spirit of them. They don't give a damn whether you know or not. Right? And furthermore, their heart is not after righteousness. It's after the judgment of the Lord. Right? Which is how we are as a people without the spirit of the Lord. We extra zealous for judgment, but not to raise the dead. Get the point? Not to raise the dead. We extra zealous for that thing. Everybody is, stone a sodomite. Ain't nobody stolen no horse, though. Ain't nobody dragging the child molesting uncle who created the sodomites and the whores out. You get the point? Remember Tazariak with the child molestation lecture? It was right then where it came out with Africa Bambata. KRS One said what? I mean, if we decide to talk about it, everybody knows somebody who was a rapist. This nigga was comfortable saying that. We all know somebody who did rape. So what? We had to go back now and do it? Yeah, nigga. Yeah.
Oh, Salaki, sir. And he said, despite what happened, if it happened, that still don't take away from him.
From what he did.
Contributed to hip hop.
That's it. Then throw hip hop away then. If that's the case. If what African Bambata did then didn't take away from what he contributed to hip hop, then nobody should be angry at what's going on with Lil Nas X right now. Nobody should be angry because that started back with the Jungle Brothers. Remember Jungle Brothers?
Right, I remember that.
Right? Go listen to the lyrics right now. Them niggas was pride. Niggas was good and rainbow. Good and rainbow, and they was all up with that Bambata dude. But once again, we don't have the spirit of the law. You You understand? We don't have the spirit of the law. We were zealous after the letter. Give me, what is this I want? Give me, do not rich men oppress you. St. James, right? James 2 and 6.
Oh, come. Look at James, verse 2, verse 6. But ye have despised the poor.
Read it again.
Verse 6. Book of James, chapter 2, verse 6. But ye have despised the poor.
Read it again.
But ye have despised the poor.
Nice and low.
But ye have despised the poor.
That's it. That's for your, you know, so-called religious leaders. Ye have despised the poor, you bougie Uncle Tom Negroes.
Right.
Ye have despised the poor. Keep reading.
Come. Do not rich men oppress you?
Say it again.
Do not rich men oppress you?
Look at your men. They're eating corn on the Sabbath. They're profaning. Say it again.
Do not rich men oppress you?
Christ, look at your men. They're eating without washing their hands. Say it again.
Do not rich men oppress you?
Go ahead.
And draw you before the judgment seat?
And draw you before the judgment seats. That's your Christian. Right. That's your religious leaders. That's them. You get the point? That's the spirit there. And that's why Christ saying, if you even understood the law or the spirit of it, you would not be so quick to blame these innocent men, right, which is against the law. To be a false witness against somebody is against the law. Right. Because it's don't think like today. Today is like you be a false witness or you lie on something and it's just so it's salakia. There's a judgment coming to the person you have a witness on. There's a judgment. And if you lying, this person could be put to death. Was he famous? What's like one famous example of it? You're supposed to know.
When the priest tried to lie on Susanna.
Exactly. They lied. You get the point? And she was going to die. Right. She was absolutely going to die. And she was willing to go die until Daniel stepped up. Right. And that was the beginning of Daniel. Right. Get the point? But of course, and in that same thing, once they was found out they was lying, the judgment that was going to happen to the person who was lied on has to fall on that person who bear witness. Right. So whatever judgment it was, you lie and say this person did this, if the judgment was death, no, you die. Because you was plotting to murder this person. Right. You get your neck stretched, no problem. Right. Ain't no sweat. Guess what I will stop? Anybody from being false witness and brothers? No sweat. But this year, he's saying, do not rich men oppress you. Do not rich men drag you before the judgment seats. Right anymore? Nah. All right. No, keep reading.
Okay. Verse 7. Do they not blaspheme?
Take your time. Blaspheme.
Do they not blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called?
You understand? That's what the Sadducees and Pharisees doing. They throwing dirt on the name that they're called or we are called, we Israelites, and they're supposed to be the highly esteemed. Do they not blaspheme the name by which we are called? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 8. If ye fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Mm-hmm. Ye do well.
That's the same thing you were saying. If they really was following the law, they would know that these men were hungry. They would go, come feed these men. It's a sidebar. When Christ said, there's some people who go end up in the chariots and don't know how. And they say, because when I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. When I was hungry, you gave me to eat. And they'll say, when? Because we didn't give you nothing, Christ. And he says, when whatever you have done for the least of my men, you've also done it unto me. You get the point? How you treat Christ's disciples is what you do to him. Right. You get the point? So now there's a reward for that or a punishment for it. And this is it here. They was looking to punish his disciples for no reason. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 9. Verse 9. But if ye have respect to persons, mm-hmm, ye commit sin, mm-hmm, and are convinced of the law as transgressors.
And that's your Sadducees and Pharisees, because they have respect to persons. Right. You get the point? That's how they are, because they ain't going after rich people. They're going after the poor. Where all the raids are, where all the a war on drugs, but everything is in the ghetto, in Section 8 and the project housing, right? Ain't no sting on the port in Baltimore.
Right.
You know what I mean? What was his family name? What was the big banking company that had how much, $1.8 million in cocaine on their boat?
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan. I think it was billion too. I don't think it was million. It was a huge amount. It wasn't no small money. Worth of cocaine on a container boat coming in on the port. Ain't no sting on JP Morgan.
Right.
I ain't hear nobody getting arrested.
Right.
But let some weed be found in your house. You got kids, they go in the pound to come in for your dog.
Right.
And your goldfish. But they get to carry on because do not rich men oppress you.
Right.
That's the point here. That's the spirit of them Sadducees and Pharisees. Go ahead.
Right.
And that's the spirit of those big-headed niggas who like to talk, who like to talk uneducated nonsense about the Sabbath day.
Right.
You understand? You sit on, you say, you brother, you buying, nigga. You get the point? That's their spirit. Their spirit is this. They want to oppress poor people. Go ahead, Salaki.
Right, yeah, and it was a brother that was in class who, had past history of being in law enforcement. And he was saying like when they arrest brothers, they had like little bits of marijuana to charge it as a higher. Like, like they had a little, say they had like 0.3, 0.2 of marijuana. It'd be charged as a gram.
Right.
So like,
if they're writing up the paperwork up, they're up in the charge. It's up to you to go to court and fight it because rich men oppress you. Right. But if they catch a rich man, they're gonna down it.
Yeah. Right.
They're gonna cut that in half. They're gonna, they're gonna make it just below a felony.
Right.
Right. Well, he didn't steal this, that. He just stole this pen. Right. Meanwhile, this nigga was walking up with the whole store. The what's this? Some big Nike CEO. This broad worked for Nike for like 25 goddamn years. Her son was using her account to buy, Nike high profile people, they have accounts where they could get special edition Nikes, where they make 35 in the world. Or 20, this pair sneaker. You get it, boy? Her son was using her account to buy these rare Nikes and Jordans and then selling them back on his own site. And you can look him up. He was a famous sneakerhead shop, and he was like 18, and everybody was wondering how he making so much money and who was the plug. And Vice did a special on him. Vice like to fly all over, and this nigga talking the special with his dumb ass. Went in there and say, well, yeah, my mama is CEO of so and some. She has some big title. I don't think it's CEO, but she was a huge powerhouse in Nike. And after he realized what he said, and he called them to pull the interview, but they already ran it. The father's bitch? She lost her whole career because he's a greedy bastard that couldn't, but he ain't get charged with a felony. He ain't get charged with, what is called stuff like that? Not fencing. Price Yeah, you give a black man that opportunity, he becoming ghost.
Right.
You know what I mean? He have a good business. He don't know nothing about them shoes. What shoes? Because he's using it to make money to get out. He not trying to be hood famous, which is how these devils look at us. Like they want the fame, but they don't want the bruises to go with the life. Right. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's get back on the Sabbath, all right? Go back to Matthew 12, 6 and 7. Pick it up for me, because yeah, I'd have stretched that devil's neck if I was his mother. Like, goddamn, vice president for 20 years. Think about how many scandals she goes through, and how many, how hard it was to sign Jordan, how hard it was to sign Kobe from Adidas, how hard it was, who else? I mean, everybody had. LeBron. Think about, all the the business she creates for Nike. Right. And this nigga come do this shit right. Like, what else do you want? You couldn't just, sell us regular shit? Go and get a job. And that's what they tell us? Right. Why you couldn't just go get a job? Right. Go do Uber, shit. Do DoorDash. Right. No, you selling contraband. You stealing, man. But I don't think he went to jail. And he should have gone to jail for that shit. Right. He ain't get, if somebody else had stole her account and sold it, that's, felony charges. Right. That's, millions of dollars on merchandise. Right. You taking under false pretense and reselling. Right. It's trafficking across state lines. You know what they did with that? Is that somebody had hacked her account? Right. He did it from inside her house, and that nigga living. He gets to live. Come on, somebody out there know? Good.
I'm going to continue on with the story he was telling about the brother from last night. He also said that he had took the ID of a couple of the oppressors' kids, and he was doing the same thing that they told him to, up it up to a grant. And he said that his officer came over, his high up came over, asked for the IDs, and told him to leave it alone, let them go.
It's like, it was 5 people, four Edomites, 1 Jake, and his supervisor and a sergeant kind of talked, and they came to him and was like, yeah, you gotta let them go. And then, so he argued back with them, and then they threatened him. Listen, we're gonna raise you up. Like, you ask him, because he was arguing, how come we're gonna let these 4 people go? Why would let them go? They're like, let them go.
He's like, do what I say.
Right, do what I say. They threaten him.
That's it. Do what I say. It's a work. This is a work order. Right. Do what I say, or else it's going to be a problem. Come on.
It's like, if I could, with that same story, they told her to let the Edomites go, but they charged the Jake.
Yeah.
Everybody in the same car, same vehicle, same amount of drugs, everything. The Edomites got to go home. And the Jake had a charge.
Listen, that's in the Bible. Christ talk about that. They the children of the king. Yeah. They're not the children of the servants or the strangers. We the children of strangers living in the king's empire. Right. They're the children of the king. Right. They're the king's children. Of course they get to go. What else you want? Right. You know what I mean? Come on, let's finish this up, right?
Matthew chapter 12, verse 7. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Ye would not have condemned the guiltless. Mm-hmm. Verse 8. For the Son of Man is Lord, even on the Sabbath day.
All right, what is that talking about? Go ahead.
It's like, if I could, he's saying, basically, he's saying, I'm the man, listen to me.
Mm-hmm. Shabbat?
I can't think of the precept, but Sabbath is for man, not man for the Sabbath.
It's right here. It's right here. But that's not what I want. If he had understood this, what he was asking them to understand.
I was going to use what you said last week, the spirit of the law.
But what is he asking them to understand in the spirit?
Trying to how can I word it? They're basically trying to find a reason to, like you said, punish him, and he's like, why you?
Come on.
Want me to read it again?
No. You still trying to get why they?
Yeah, when he said, but if ye had known what this meaneth,
Right.
What is he asking them if they know what it means?
So, because he broke down, he said, "Did you not read about when David went and got ate the bread from Sabbath? Did you not read about when the priest had to work? If you knew the spirit, like if you got the spirit of that, and knew what those things meant, you wouldn't even."
It says it right there. For if ye had known what this meaneth, read on.
I will have mercy and not sacrifice. You will not have condemned the guiltless.
That's a precept right there. That's also a reference to something in the past. Give me Hosea 6:6.
Hosea chapter 6, verse 6. For I despise mercy.
Read it one more time.
For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than the burnt offerings.
Read it one more time.
Hosea chapter 6, verse 6. For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than the burnt offerings.
More than burnt offerings. So does it say another V?
More than burnt offerings.
Right? Come on, break it on.
This one is saying, you know what I'm saying? I just the most side desires for us not to sin. Like, you know, the reason why we got to sacrifice is because we sin. But it's better if you just not sin. Or if you
I would rather mercy than burnt offerings.
Mercy.
Come on, ooh boy.
The mercy, like
ooh boy, ooh, keep us up. Come on.
The mercies of brothers wanting judgment on each other, or wanting to kill each other.
You narrowed it. You in the neighborhood, you in the zip code. Burnt offerings come from Salaki, go ahead.
Oh no, so I was gonna say, because he's basically telling them, because you know when he comes, it's gonna be judgment. So he's telling them, I will have mercy. He's telling them about the law. So if you would have, you know what I'm saying, Salaki, the knowledge of what I was telling you, then I won't have to. You won't be sacrificed. You won't be put to death.
You're in the neighborhood, but you kind of it's getting twisting you up a little bit. You right?
It's kind of plain, like if you had known what it means, you wouldn't have sinned, and you wouldn't like when you give a sacrifice because you sin.
For I desired mercy and not sacrifice.
It's like I would say what he's saying is I would rather you have them to not sin than for them to sin and then have to sacrifice something to forgive that sin.
How does somebody not sin? Maybe that's what I ought to do.
Just be in the spirit.
So you just be in the spirit and just don't sin? How do you not speed? Anybody drives? You want to drive? Everybody gets speeding tickets before, right? When was the last time you got a speeding ticket? So you don't speed anymore.
Right.
How do you not speed?
An example?
Example was made of you. You got your ticket.
Okay.
Right? Or you're speeding so much they was going to take your car and they was going to write you a $600 ticket like what happened to me. And then I had a daughter. I went and, let there be lights. And I had a daughter and she's in the back seat and she woke up. And I said, listen, I was just trying to get to a bathroom. The little girl back there ready to pee. And he said, oh, go up there, make that right. There's a bathroom right there. I said, mercy. I ain't doing that shit no more. I didn't know nothing about highway laws. Speeding in the city, they write here a ticket. Speeding on that highway, that's park police and state trooper territory. Them niggas don't have to write you no ticket. They could arrest you and take you to jail and seize your car right then and there. And the fines is ridiculous. He said, it's $600 ticket for the speed you was doing. I said, oh, brother, he said, turn your lights on. I'm on the shoulder. The sign here says 250, but fine double. I said, God damn. Right there is where the sign is. Mercy. I would rather mercy. Christ when they brought the woman in adultery. Mercy. You get the point? That teaches somebody something. If you're in that spirit, of, now you want, the Lord doesn't want judgment. He doesn't want that. That's in Ezekiel. Pull it for me, 18, right? Pull it for me in Ezekiel. Once again, the Lord is a father. He's not a heathen God. You understand where these heathens get, I down here at this point think it's some kind of sexual gratification. Even them cops who be slamming into the ground and have to straddle you and sit on top of you like this. I think it's some kind of weird sexual thing with them. Like, nigga, goddamn, I'm on the floor already. Why you gotta get on top of me like that? Why you gotta sprawl all the way out and I don't get it. Like that's to me, I mean, it's weird. Right. Like it's some sort of you tasing somebody and they're screaming and yelling, and then they do more. Like they're turned on by it. Like the Lord is not like that. He's a father, and any father hearing their children cry out, your heart half down near break. You down there have to on purpose ignore the shit just to teach the lesson. Right. But really, you don't want to go no further with this kid, man. Right. You don't want to. That's your child at the end of the day. Right. You get the point? The Lord is a father. He doesn't want sacrifice. He doesn't want that judgment on you. He will do it though. Don't get me wrong, enough. I don't want nobody say the Lord, Michelle painting the Lord as a pup. He will bust your ass like any good father. Right. But does he want to? Hell no. Hell no, he don't want to. And like any good parent, after he done beat you 6 days from Sunday, you get the point that he didn't want to do this and you damn near made him do it. Right. That's how you know anything really set in. Like the blows don't matter, it's the disappointment from him. The fact that he ain't talking to you for a couple of days because you did some dumb shit you ain't supposed to do. The Lord don't want that. He would rather he chastise you and you know you could get this, but you don't. And now you don't do it no more. And now he see you making an effort to not do it anymore. Right. That pleases any father. Any father would look at their kid making an effort and this person trying to listen to them. They ain't getting it right for their kids. They're going to get older, they're going to get it right. But any father will look at their kids and be like, well, they tried. The floor ain't swept right, but he had the broom for 2 hours. He tried. Get it, boy? Come on.
Now I was going to give for the old school parents that really don't want to punish their kids, they always say, this is going to hurt me more, it's going to hurt you.
Them niggas was lying. That's a lie. Them niggas was lying. They was lying. It hurt me more than it hurts you. Bullshit. They had too much fun with that shit. They was giving me speeches in between blows and shit. No, stand again. Nigga, you ain't got time. If this is hurting you, why you prolonging the shit? Hurry up and beat them a little boy and cry. This shit, you was enjoying that shit. So like, but I get the point though. But them niggas was lying now. So they'll go back and tell your aunts and your uncle and some friend, yeah, I just bust his ass. You should have seen it. How the fucking hurt you, nigga? You give it a whole report, 7 o'clock news. You, Shannon Sharp, and Skip. A whole blow by blow. Everybody know I get my ass bust this weekend. You go by your auntie, you gonna behave or your father face. How the fuck you know? This shit ain't hurt you. Them niggas was lying. Psychological warfare. That's why I be so messed up. That's next week class. Who was somebody out there? Go ahead.
Just a quick statement. I'm new to the truth, so not growing up with a father or anybody like that. That's comforting. The more I come to work and here, you know, I just get more confident every time.
Listen. You say you grew up without a father. There were some of us who had fathers, and he did the best he could, but it doesn't compare because they didn't have the truth.
Right.
Your parents did the best they could, whether they had on the house or not.
Right.
That brother who was not there, that's the best he could have done. That's the best he could have done without dying. You get the point? That's the best he could have done. Brothers who was there, sisters who was there, whatever they did, that was the best they could do. Now you come to the truth, you just forgive them for wherever they fell short or wherever they just didn't handle the situation the best way. They didn't know no better. Right. Okay, every generation is supposed to improve, right? Meaning this, you want for your kids what you didn't have, right? So think about what their childhood was like if you is the improvement. And now try to hold a grudge after that shit. If you supposed to be the best when you born, you coming up, you the best thing for that whole line. Right. Just think about what their childhood was like if your daddy ain't shit and your mother was a crackhead. Right. And then try to hold a grudge after that. Right. You old selfish bastard. You think you're not you, but I'm just speaking in general for everybody else. Right. I always think about that Mayweather when he talked about his daddy wasn't there and then take him to the damn movie theater. Nigga, you buying watches and $400 million fights. I wish I never went to the movie theater. God damn. If not going to see movies made you a rich ass nigga like that, right, then we should never go to the movies then. Dummy. SHALAM, you there, YAHANNA?
I'm about to say, like how Kevin was saying, like a lot of us be the first person that graduated high school. First person that went to college for 1 year, 2 years.
It just got accepted into college.
Yeah, that just got accepted.
Graduate high. Made it past what? 5th grade, 10th grade?
Yeah.
The first person who ain't get pregnant by 20.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then you the best of that line because you the improvement. That person before they grew up with something so they make sure whatever you had really is not what they had. That's really how you grow. Every parent is like, I'm gonna make sure this person have this and that. And you gotta understand that most times for parents, especially in the world, they try to give you what they didn't have. You understand? They probably was poor and couldn't dress right, so you in the freshest gear all the goddamn time. Right. You don't know why, but really it's just them remembering how it used to be going to school with holes in the shoes and standing in the corner, the locker, so nobody don't see the hole, and being careful with eating food so shit don't fall on the shirt you're gonna wear tomorrow. And they just give you everything, but you don't know no better. And you sit there and be like, damn, I have all these things, but I don't have a bike. My dad is a deadbeat. You understand? It's perspective. Yeah. So now you got to understand your parents just did the best they could. They was in hell. You had the truth now. So you're supposed to understand. Just look at your life before how much mistakes they made with all the truth. Their whole life, they never had the truth. Still today, they don't have it. Just give them a pass. They did the best they goddamn could. Even the ones that wasn't there. Yeah, I mean, it's, it is what it is. Just keep coming to work, as they say. Right. Just show up for work. Just come to work. Where we at?
So I had the precept in Ezekiel, sir.
Yeah, please.
Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 23. Mm-hmm. Have I any pleasure at all that the wicked should die? Mm-hmm. Said the Lord God, and not that he should return from his ways and live.
Yes, and now this is the wicked of Israel. This is not Esau. Right. Because he can't return from his and live. Right. He can't even sin because the laws wasn't given to him. Right. You get the point? Okay. The Lord is saying, I don't have pleasure in the destruction of my people. That's not what he wants. Now, he will kill you though. Right. But it's not his first choice. Right. It's not what he wants to do. It's not what he wants. You know what's the best way I can explain it, especially for our brother? Some broad you're in love with. You love this girl, and the shit ain't work out. You don't hate her. You love her, but you realize, yeah, you get cut now. You don't want to do the shit, but it's like, God damn. You get the point? That's the best example if you don't have no kids. If you do have kids, it's like, I should just tear you out the frame every day for the next week. But you know, I'll do it a little bit and then I'll go get an estimate on that car. You find yourself in there playing, you know, NASCAR and accidentally, you know, hit the start or some shit like that.
Right.
You know, I knew a brother who did it, crashing. And the city starts up bombs and the shit moving. I don't know what the hell happened. I remember the straps. I didn't snitch though. You get the point? But it's as a point, you know, you don't want that. You see the destruction, you see the disobedience. Well, as parents, you don't want to, you know, kill your child. You don't want to do that. And it's the same thing with the Lord. He rather mercy. He rather, you know, the lesson that comes with mercy. There's a lesson that comes with mercy. But you'll only get it if you're sincere, if you're not an evil, conniving bastard. Right. But you'll get it. If you get that lesson that comes from mercy, that's what he rather. Now, if you don't get the lesson that comes from mercy, what happens?
Judgment falls.
Sacrifice. Now it's the sacrifice. Now you gotta pay.
Right.
He'd rather you not have to pay. That's the spirit of it. And Christ is cutting them because he's saying, if you only understood that David ate the showbread. King David. What's he saying? David said, the priests, they work on the Sabbath. What you say? They profane the Sabbath? If you understood that the Lord requires mercy first before sacrifice, you running for the sacrifice. You now coming to charge for the sacrifice. You ain't even, these brothers hungry. Feed them. Get the point?
Right.
That's the spirit of this year. If you understood that, you wouldn't charge these men. Right. And you would understand what? Verse 8. Give me verse 8. Quickly. Matthew 12 and 8.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 8. For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath day.
Right? For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath day. What does that mean?
Come on, God. For the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath day.
Come on, Shabbat.
That's even for the Sabbath day, you know, man gets mercy even on the Sabbath.
Yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, give me the Lord part. But you're right. Meaning even on the Sabbath day, or in general, you mercy first. Right? That's the spirit behind it. Right? It's not just mercy, because remember the other ones he was saying on David ate the showbread that was unlawful to eat because of the Sabbath day. The showbread is a Sabbath day thing. The priest working on the Sabbath, you're not supposed to work, but they was doing servile work. They was working. They was cleaning and cooking and stuff for somebody else, right? And mercy. So that is the spirit of all of that. But I'll take that though. Come on.
Christ right here is saying he's over the Sabbath day.
Mm-hmm. He is Lord of the Sabbath.
He's Lord of the Sabbath. Because for sure, I mean, he's doing his works and his miracles every day.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't matter if it's Sabbath or not. Somebody, healing the blind, healing the sick, raising the dead on the Sabbath, or
he is Lord even of the Sabbath day.
There's nothing restricting him. The Sabbath can't restrict the most of the Lord.
Exactly. The Sabbath is not Lord of him.
Right.
He is Lord of the Sabbath. We all follow Christ.
Right.
The Sabbath is not Lord over us. We are Lord of the Sabbath. Get the point? Monday, who is Lord? Monday, because he had to go to work.
Right.
Sabbath, I'm in charge today, nigga. What we doing? Nothing.
Right.
What we doing? Going to the beach. What we doing? I'm going for a ride or a run and do some push-ups and then come home and watch the game. What we doing? I'm going to Sabbath service because I'm a priest. On the Sabbath day, even the Sabbath day, I'm in charge.
Oh, slightly, sir, I made. Man was not made for the Sabbath.
Let's go there next. Mark 2. I think it's 2. Mark 2. Please, pull it.
Mark chapter 2 and 27.
Right, so like, if anybody who on now, y'all could break off from this live, head over to Black Watch News. Black Watch News, Commander YAHANNA is live on there tonight. Black Watch News, right? Head over there, check out that live. It's going to be on. You can always come back, watch the class after, all right? Just break off, go watch Black Watch News, all right? Go ahead.
It's Mark chapter 2 and 27. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath.
The Sabbath was not made for man. It's like it. Man was not made for the Sabbath, but the Sabbath was made for man. Break that down.
It's basically saying the Sabbath was made for you to do what you want to do, what you enjoy to do. Whatever you do to relax and enjoy, do that on that day.
It's like saying the whole concept of a vacation was made because you work. You ain't go to a job because of the vacation. You get it going? The whole concept of a vacation was made for you. You understand? Not you made like, hey, you know what? I need some people to give a vacation to. Let's hire some niggas. It's not like that. You get it, boy? Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. It's supposed to serve you, not you serving it, which is the mercy behind it. You get it, boy? Come on.
I can't think of the precept at all, but y'all look for it all day. But when matter dies and them didn't die.
You know I'm going right there. That's part of the breakdown. I see you in class. I see you working. Come on.
So I got another precept that's got to do with the Sabbath. When I think it was the ox fell in the ditch, and they,
you could pull that from me.
Come on.
I left that one off, but I definitely was going in Maccabees.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 5. I'm gonna start at verse 4. Verse 4. And they heard them, verse 5. It's like, and he answered them, saying, which of you shall have an ass or an ox fallen into a pit, and will not straightway pull him out on the Sabbath day? And they answered, and they could not answer him again to these things. And he put forth a parable to those which were abiding. And when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, when thou art abiding of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest more honorable man.
And I don't think you need that.
Oh, yes, the part that I was going to give you just verse 5. With the ox that fell in.
Yeah, break it down. Read it one more time, break it down.
Verse 5. And he answered them, saying, which of you shall have an ass or an ox fallen into a pit, and will not straightway pull him out on the Sabbath day? Basically, he
right. So since especially that they're saying you can't do no work on the Sabbath. Right. You have an ass or an ox fall into a ditch. What's a ditch? Hole with mud and water. It's a deep hole. It's a ditch. You can't really get out of it easily. Right? Go ahead. Good God.
Basically, like you just said, they're just gonna let, rather than not doing no work, they're just gonna sit there and let the ox die in that ditch. So the Lord showing them why would you, what I'm saying, this is valuable. You can get that out. The Sabbath is for you, you're not for the Sabbath.
Right, and okay, think of it like this: not the ox or the whatever the beast that fall into the ditch. That's what you would use for a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
To work, to make your money, to pull your, you might just be, pulling something heavy. If it falls into the ditch on the Sabbath, are you just gonna just leave it there for a day? And just because you can't work, you better go dig it out. So now, being a priest, how does this apply to you?
Can we compare our people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, as our people that's in a ditch that we ought to go get them?
Our people are in a ditch. That's one thing. Our people are in a ditch. We ought to go get them. That's one thing. What's the other thing?
Sabbath service. We got to serve them.
That's true. Something else. That ox, that thing you need isn't. Come on. That prime thing you're using for money, it's falling in the ditch. It's a problem. You have to go out on the Sabbath to go pull it out. Sometimes you can go pull it out. Get the point? Okay. What does that mean? Some shit might happen. You might get sick. You couldn't slave for the month. You need to get time off from camp to go slave. Just come and get permission. Number one, you're a priest. Number two, your ox is in the ditch. Go get it out. Get the point? You just come get permission. That's all. You get the point? And you go get it. Now don't go tell me your ox in the ditch every Saturday. I'm gonna tell you, lead up mother right there. So that he ain't an ox, he's stupid. He wants to be in the ditch. That's a pig. It's not an ox. He's like mud. You get the point? That's one. Give me Maccabees. All right, give me Maccabees. Let me take some questions and we close up. All right, give me Maccabees. This is a cold, quintessential one, of course. Of course, there's more to this breakdown too. For time's sake, I can go into it. Coming into the Lord's rest. I think it's in Hebrews on the Sabbath. Coming into his rest. Adam was, he came into the Lord's rest. You know what I mean? Whoever have it. Maccabees.
You want first Maccabees?
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like, are you talking about when that other group wouldn't fight?
Oh, yeah. Okay, God.
He's like, oh, yeah, that shit. Yeah, we should have that. Come on. You're like
2:40, sir.
Goddamn, somebody draw. What's going on? You need some coffee or what's up? You been drinking? Y'all see my glass get clear now. Come on, who have it?
First Maccabees. First Maccabees chapter.
You need some help?
Chapter 2.
Yeah, this is right here. Right. So they rose against.
That's like I got it. First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 41.
You want to go up to
You mean when they gave them the battle with all swiftness or with quickness or something like that?
31.
Never mind. What I'd like to see. Give it them with the quickness.
So like verse 31, right?
No, give me where Mattathias said, Psalm 27. Give me Mattathias with that call to war.
First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. Verse 28.
Right? So that's the cry for war. Yelling out to everybody. Whoever is what?
Zealous of the law.
Zealous of the law. And what?
And maintaineth the covenant.
And keeping the covenant that Abraham, Isaac, and Abraham made with the Lord. You get the point? Our forefathers made with the Lord. Whoever is zealous of the law and keeping the covenant, follow me. Ain't nobody say, well, why are we following you? You just a man. Some people did. We're about to read about them now. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains,
mm-hmm.
and left all that whatever they had in the city.
Because they followed him. He said, follow me, and they followed him. Go ahead.
Verse 29. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
Now, why does it say many of them that followed after justice and judgment? Why does it say that part? Why didn't it just say, well, some people went down into the wilderness to dwell there? Matthias went to the hills, right? I think it tells you that day. He left and went to the hills, right? To the mountains, right? Some people went down into the wilderness. They didn't go up with Matthias. The people who went down into the wilderness, it says, they were zealous for what? They sought after justice and judgment. Go ahead.
It's like these are the people that say you ain't the only ones that got the truth.
Yeah, because they wanted the same thing he wanted. Whoever was zealous of the law and the covenants, they were zealous of justice and judgment. They was keeping the law too, right? But they didn't go in the mountains with Matthias. They said, nah, we ain't following you. We going where we want to go. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 30. Both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because affliction increased so upon them. Verse 31. Now when it was told to the king's servants and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David, that certain men who had broken the king's commandment were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness.
Now understand that. The king who they have a beef with, he find out that some of them going in the wilderness. He didn't find out where Matthias them is in the mountains. Which is why it's just so imperative to just follow the nigga who the Lord said. Just follow him, follow that man, find him, and just follow him. And don't try to understand nothing. Just go left if he say go left. If you say go right, go right. If you say go up, go up. If you say go down, go down. You're not smart. That's the key to the truth. You're not brilliant. You choose to not wear Jordans and be celebrating with auntie to kumpo. No. And to dress funny and come to class and not eat pork. You're not brilliant. Says Salakia. You're about as dumb as a rock. You're not smart. You're in here, right? That means you're dumb. In the world, they say that? Everybody tell you that, right? You're stupid, right? Believe that. And because you're stupid, follow the man who is in charge. And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Because they're smart right now and they're dying. I'd rather be dumb and living. I'd rather be just dumb and just alive than be brilliant and, full of AIDS. You so smart, right? Well, what's going on with that building down there? Well, you see, this attaches to that. Yeah, break that STD down. With your smart ass. Break it down. Scholastic too. Break down what's the I used to know this shit too. The gonorrhea bacteria is called gonococcula something. I forget what it is. Some long gonococcula something. That gonorrhea is the short version of it. Break it down with your smart ass. And I'm stupid, right? I ain't got nothing to break down. But liquor and food and brotherhood. And ladies with the white corsages. Break them down. But I ain't got that shit you dealing with in the world. You so smart, you go to the baseball, take me out to the ball game, and you running like you in the middle of South Central with your smart ass. Y'all didn't see that, right? Y'all down there, Southwest, y'all. And you're on the jumbo screen. Pow, pow, pow. You're like, when they shoot, made you look. Listen, I have my own theory about DC right now. I think it's them goddamn Republicans are. I think them niggas who were storming the castle, storming the Capitol, and that them same thing. Who were storming the Capitol, the ones who get away and angry about Trump, they're making DC go back to the bullets. Yeah. So they're trying to change it from the wizard. The shit that going on in DC now is like, is that normal? The amount of shootings and this random shit like that?
I would say so.
Nah, man. Nah.
I thought it was worse when I was young.
Okay, that's when you was young. I ain't comparing it to then. I'm comparing it to now. Right. Is that normal for DC now? Nah. Not brother shooting down in Southwest? Random shooting?
That's what I know in the Southwest.
So like, I think you understand. Nah, it was a mass shooter at the baseball stadium.
At the baseball stadium. When did that happen before?
I mean,
at the baseball stadium down there.
That sounds like the type of crime.
Okay, that's not what I'm asking you. Focus on what I'm asking you. What's going on in DC right now? Sunday was 8 people got shot somewhere in some drive-by? It's ridiculous, just shootings. That's just like, what the hell is going on? Some road rage, just some weird ass shit is going on. And it's like, hold up. Brother, Muriel Bowser just came out and told MPD, do whatever you have to do to stop the shooting. That's how rare it is. Like, she come up with a whole executive order to say she approved all the overtime. When they was just talking about cops stealing overtime. She said, just sign it. What? Drive through DC tonight. Let's drive through. Brother, there's cops in the sky. There's cops sitting on top of the light pole just chilling. I'm like, wait, hold on. They're just following it for no reason. DC's not... I ain't talking about Bullets Days Act. I'm talking about, this is the Wizards Act. This is, this is the capital of America right now we're talking about. And brother, it's the Wild Wild West Act. It's just you ain't got no revolver. This shit, anyway, that's my just theory. You know what I mean? I think they, and then finding nobody. That's the thing about it. Usually they find, they put the owner of the car, they was arrested. They ain't finding nobody. It's going on for about 6 weeks now. DC been like, what? Yeah. Where? This happened? Nah. I think they mad and they're trying to make sure DC get unstable. Yeah. They couldn't destabilize the capital. So you know what? They're getting them silicone plastic masks and they're lighting up the place. You just go down to the baseball game and you just have to let off shots. Right. That shit ain't normal. Not for this area. I'm so happy. I know they be having some wild shit. And listen, even before the wild shit that used to be going on in Southeast, brothers from down there would tell you it was cops that was doing it. It was no rival gang shit. It was cops who was pulling up and lighting up gangs. They'll tell you that. All them shootings that was happening, brothers from down there would say, man, that ain't us. That ain't us doing that mess. It's them doing shit. But that's my theory anyway. Let's go back to Sabbath. Shabbat offended. Shabbat is like, it sounds normal to me. Not to me, I I must be O, you must be Mo. you the Mo and I'm the O. I'm Joe. Come on, who was reading?
Oh, Shalaki, it was good. I'm Shalaki. Verse 32. They pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day. Verse 33. And they said unto them, let that which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live. But they said, will I not come forth? Neither will do the king commandment to profane the Sabbath day. So then they gave them the battle with all speed.
Be it.
They answered them not, neither cast they.
What does it mean when they say they answered them not? Howbeit, they answered them not.
They did like Christians do and turn the other cheek.
Yeah, they didn't fight back. That king gave them the battle with all speed. Them niggas ain't bust a grape. They did nothing. They said Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sabbath. Ashar Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. How are you, brother? Shabbat Shalom. Aki, Achoti. Artichoke.
Right.
Shabbat Shalom. Ashar Shabbat.
Right.
Shalom Shalom. Go ahead. Salaki.
Neither cast they a stone at them, nor stop the places where they lay hid.
But they was zealous for justice and judgment, though. They was full of fight, right? Right. But where did all that go? But they wanted to keep the Sabbath. They kept it. Keep reading.
Verse 37. but said, let us die all in our innocency.
Let us die in Christianity. Let us die in just, ignorance. That's proud talk. Let us die in our innocency. Nigga, you're a sinner. You didn't obey the man the Lord said. That in itself is dishonoring the Father. Damn it. It's, you're not innocent. He told you, come follow me if you want to obey the Lord.
Right.
You didn't follow me, you must want to not obey the Lord. You're not innocent. You didn't die in innocency. You died in stupidity. Right? Go ahead.
Heaven and earth will testify for us that he put us to death wrongfully.
Right. Yes. Any heathen who kills an Israelite, you did it wrongfully. Heaven and earth testify for you. What are these fools' names? Anybody know? No. That witness forgot. Heaven and earth didn't testify too well because they ain't tell it. You mean y'all die innocent and glorious in the Sabbath? Y'all didn't throw a stone and we don't know your names? Right. We don't know your names. You don't know their names, but we do know Matthias.
Exactly.
We do know Judas.
Right.
We do know, the brothers, Simon and the other one. Right? Jonathan, we do know them. Because they followed the man who the Lord sent.
Right.
You get the point? Okay. The Sabbath was not created. Man was not created for the Sabbath. The Sabbath was created for man.
Right.
Nigga, you supposed to fight.
That's right.
Your ass was in a ditch then. You get the point? The
right.
ox was in a ditch.
Right.
You were supposed to dig it out. You get the point? Okay. So now, if I'm a war general and I want to conquer you, I just need to wait on the Sabbath and I can just take you because you can't work.
Right.
You dummy. The Lord wants mercy, not sacrifice, which this idiot thought he was doing. Let us die in our innocency. For the Sabbath we sacrificed.
Right.
You're a dummy. Come on, Slack, I'm coming to you. Come on.
It's like if I may too, sir, what you're saying is so heavy. This is the spirit of the Christian Israelites that's starving them kids, and in their mind, well, if the kid dies, let that child die in its innocence.
That's it's pride. It's stupid. It's stupid, It's the Lord is. He don't want that,
right? And
you're not gonna be a horrible parent if you do any shit like that,
right?
Come on.
And here it shows it goes against what of course this is before Christ, but this is what Christ was talking about was saying that He is Lord.
Right.
We are Lord over the Sabbath. Here they made Sabbath their Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So this shows you vice versa. This is. Now, when you die, when you make a Sabbath service your Lord,
you're going to die.
You're going to die.
Right. You're going to die. It's death all around you. Case in point, Joy Morgan.
Yep.
Right? And the Sabbath is rule, no Sabbath. You couldn't go look for her, right? Because it was Saturday?
Right.
Good. Now we know. Come on.
The Son of Man is Lord over the Sabbath. The Lord is the man of war.
And the Lord, give him a hand. The Lord is a man of war. So there's war on the Sabbath. There's war on the Sabbath. Like it's foolish the way how to adopt the understanding of this Bible from a world perspective. You're going to die. Right. Things is not going to go right because this Bible was not written by the oppressors. It wasn't written by Caucasians who their thought pattern is different.
Right.
It wasn't written by Asians who their thought pattern is different. Black men they different. They just we different. Right. Black men and black women, we're a different breed of people. The way we talk, the things we say. You ever see this sister is the one who is boxed from Detroit. Forget her name. The one who's the Olympian, something Shields. Yeah, right? Clarissa Shields, right? You ever see her in an interview or squaring up with somebody to fight? How is she?
She's brash and bold.
She talking mad shit. I mean, shit to the point where you sitting down there and be like, just shut up. Now, I watched something recently. Something just came up on my feed. With, Steve Harvey does the Family Feud shit. Yeah, and there was some celebrity thing they had. And she went up there and they had the square off for the buzzer thing for the first question. And she just talking mad shit against this white dude. I mean, just shit. Yeah, I'm going to win. This is what I do. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, why are you doing all of this? And then the Edomites say, calm down over there. There's no weights here. I mean, to this, like all you do is lift. Right. So whatever question came up, she answered the question, but it was like the fourth one down. Right. But the answer she gave was kind of like hysterical. It was like, you know, a ridiculous answer. Right. But it was on there. So people was laughing and stuff like that. So Harvey turned to the white girl because it's her turn to beat her. Right. And the white girl so caught up laughing at her, the buzzer go off. And the white girl is like, oh, what does that mean? I don't know. And Harvey's like, it's your turn. She's saying, it means you lost. And walk off. I said, brother, that's the spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
Like the Lord is with Israel.
That's
but
right.
To everybody else, we just a bunch of just, you know, goofy, dumb people who don't even belong in the room. Until the Lord show you who he with.
Right.
Until he step in there and just, you know, he side with, you know, his people.
That's right.
And you like, it's in the Bible, they're going to be shocked.
Right.
That these people who they had in derision is the Lord's people.
Right.
Like that's it. So now to understand the Bible, you can't go to them for that.
Right.
This is a book written by people who the world rejects, who doesn't respect our intelligence, doesn't respect how we do things. How we do things is so different. Black musicians don't even study music.
Right.
Famous black musicians don't, you know, treble clef and bass clef and flats.
Right.
How do black musicians learn music? By ear.
Right.
They sit with some kid and a piano. You hearing it? Listen. Find the key. And that child learning that day. And you wonder why we excel? Right. It's like you feeling this thing here, but nigga, you only learning about it.
Right.
Come on.
It's like, what's the name? Like Ray Charles. Like when the movie, Ray Charles blind, like 6-7 years old, an older man teaching how to play the piano. Stevie Wonder still got. I didn't even know Stevie Wonder started music.
He was seeing.
And at the same age as Michael Jackson. Like Stevie Wonder started in Motown at the age of like 8, at a young age.
And yeah, I think he had his vision then. I think it's later his vision failed.
Yeah, then he got his, and then even his music till now.
It's timeless.
He on young rappers. He on Travis Scott music now.
Mm-hmm.
But his music is timeless.
It's timeless compared to them who have to go to school and learn bridges. They have stuff in music that damn near created by genius black people. There's something called accidentals in music with flat notes. And that in European culture is against the rules. That's why they call it accidental. But it's part of music construction, composition, bridges. What's the other thing when the beat change? What is called that?
Time signature change.
Something like that. Like they have names for things that we just do because I'm feeling this and I'm gonna flip it on them. And then the beat change and they call that, they have a name for it, but they have to study it. But we just do it. But if we just do it, they'll be like, what is that? That's not music. Ha 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 ha. Until the whole world is in awe of it. That's us. Come on.
One of my best friends in high school, I remember he was talking about, hey, I want to learn how to play the piano. And I remember him just playing, you know, just trying to do something. After high school, I went away. When I came back, he was playing everything that he heard. Yeah. Flawlessly.
That's
even to this day, he can't read music.
He can't read the music.
But he can play it.
He could, exactly. He can't read it, but he know exactly. He could feel the thing. And then I'm going to come to another example of that is horse racing in America. Horse racing, before modern times, the jockeys used to be black. Right? They used to be smaller brothers because, of course, the lighter the brother, the faster the horse run. Anybody know why the jockeys was black? Was always black. There was no white jockeys. There was no European jockeys.
Because those were the ones, I believe, that was taking care of the horses.
Those were the men who was taking care of the horses. And being Israelites, it's in our spirit. The scriptures say a wise man is kind to his beast. I'm paraphrasing. It's in Proverbs. Right? He looks out for his beast or the welfare of his beast. Those brothers would take care of the horse. And they would say that damn near the brothers was one with the animal. So they could ride that animal like nobody else. Because they're taking care of the horse. They're bathing the horse, carrying, feeding the horse, changing the horse shoes. They one with the damn thing. So when they ride the horse, they get in the horse to perform more than some Edomite who just they're whipping the hell out of that damn horse. And that's because, of course, now for a professional jockey, they have jockey school. When that profession started off because you was the lower class slave who worked with the barn. You knew horse more than man. You get the point? Like that's who we are. We that type of peculiar people. We just think Jar Jar Binks. You know Jar Jar Binks? I brought this up before. From Star Wars or Star Trek. Star Wars, the one the Bajoka Jar. He talk like that. He walk kind of booth. That's us. That's how they see us. How we talk. How we everything is just so weird and just so goofy to them. But when we start doing some shit, the world watches them. The whole world watches. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you look at it, it's like, what? Yeah. This nigga got all the records in the whole goddamn world in basketball. Yeah. All. And before he was joining Muslims, he was fighting people in the goddamn basketball. Yeah. He was one of them violent ass old school Negroes. Before he get peaceful, you get the point? The old lanky dude was whooping ass. Yeah. This is who we are. So now when you read the Bible, the spirit of it is so different. Right. It's not logic. Right. It's not logical, half the things that go on here. Right. It's a logical matter. Let's kill the king's ambassador. Who in the goddamn right mind gonna do that? Right. And then say if Israel said the Lord follow me. Right. This thing is beyond logic. Right. If things have to make sense to you for you to do it, go ahead and enjoy Mickey Mouse before this place go up in smoke. Right. Go ahead and, see if you can go to the moon with Richard Branson. You know what I mean? Go join Tesla. Go enjoy the world. But if this thing has to make sense to you in order for you to, not perform, but to carry out and to live in here and to, follow your orders and get to, if it has to make sense to you, this is not the place for you, Right. This is not the place for you. If this thing... it has to make sense. Right. Nigga, what sense was slavery? Right. What sense was the crack epidemic? What sense was Jim Crow? Right. Did that make sense? Right. No. So what the fuck you talking like? Excuse me, like, what are you talking about make sense now? Right. That I'm on a street corner saying the white man is the devil, saying it's wrong to be homosexual, saying that the Israelite school of I.S.U.P.K and the commander Johnny Hannah is the home of the truth. Right. And if it's not here, you're not in the truth. Right. That has to make sense to you for you to now, stop eat pork. Well, then nigga eat the pig then. Fry the oink for all I care. Right. Eat everything. Don't stop. Not on my account, because what the hell do I know? Right. I am a fool. Right? Come on.
But and then we get another fourth part to the next verse.
Okay, Slack, let me get these two brothers and I'm gonna let you read, all right? And then we wrap it up. Go ahead.
I was gonna say about the, when you talk about the music, the backbeat, like it's an offbeat. Mm-hmm. We can vibe to it.
It's an offbeat. I think that's from the accidental thing. Y'all could Google it. That thing they call accidentals in music. It was at the time against musical laws. It wasn't supposed to do stuff like that. I think it's something with the flat notes, like the black keys on the keyboard. It's something with that. Say it again. Quantizing. You're the musicians up in here. You're making beats and trapping and dropping bars and all kind of shit. So
I remember being, because growing up in church, that's one thing you learn how to be good musicians. Mm-hmm. I remember going into band and playing the saxophone and just being able to play just from my ear, mm-hmm. and doing certain stuff. And then it was an Asian boy and he's breaking it. How did you do that? He said, the accidental, like you play in a way that's unorthodox. And
it's against the rules.
Yeah, it's like this the nigga way.
Because our rules are different. Yeah, they're earthling.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. What did they say about Jordan? It's like he was walking on air. That's how Air Jordan. Right. It's like he's walk on air. He dunking and his feet moving like this to the ring. Yeah. Who was doing that before? Nobody. Vince Carter get up there and decide, you know what? I'm gonna just stick my whole arm in the ring. Who the hell is think about shit like that, huh? Which Asian doing that? Which Elamite doing that? Which East Indian? We are weird ass people. George Clinton go on the damn stage with a rainbow wig and a diaper on, and was spitting bars that today is like you could study his shit. Who the hell does that? Now I ain't saying that's lawful. Don't nobody come with a diaper. But you get my point. The shit we are strange people. We are peculiar people. We're not regular. We don't have a rhyme or a rhythm that's in line with the spirit of this world. We're different. Right. And we should just be different. We shouldn't try to be that. Right. We shouldn't try to be, them purple sodomites. They try to align to the world. Right. Brother, just break free of that shit. Y'all see the video of them twerking, right? Brother,
What's coming out?
the bishop is twerking out. The bishop got... No, hold on. Don't look for it yet. Listen, it's going to come on. I think Jeremiah probably going to pull it out tomorrow night on y'all. That nigga is twerking out like it. Bum, bum, bum. That nigga get up and start twerking, brother. He conforms to this world, God. Yeah, listen. I don't know. He got something in him, like it's in him. Salaki. Give me story. Listen, I feel like for me, I'm like, there's so much technology. You could have pulled a video up if you're talking about these girls twerking. This nigga got up off his chair and start saying they do this.
Oh, it's a wrap.
That's your leader. That's what you want. That's what you want. My nigga showed me how to load them things up upside down.
That's right.
Keep it on, stick it in, not eat pork, not eat half brotherhood, and line them up in sacks. Right. I don't know what you over there shaking your ass. No, Sluggy, go ahead.
Sluggy. Yikes. You said we weird. Maybe that's why the heathens treat us like invaders.
Yes, brother, we are an absolute. Brother, just think about it. Just as real, we way up top, we sidebar. Just think about ghetto names that people give their children.
Yeah.
Who the hell joins Brian and Keisha and say Brisha?
Right.
Who does that shit?
Right.
What does the name mean? Right. Well, the father's name was Brian and the mother's name was Keisha, so we said Brisha.
Yep.
Done.
Right.
What does it mean? It means special. Because the child is special to them and they gave them a name that means special to them. Right. You just create a whole name. It don't mean nothing to them because it's not in their language, but it's in ours though.
Right.
It's in ours though. You look at the word baby. It's really bye. Mm-hmm. But bae. We start saying bae, B-A-E. Like we're different. We're not like them. Right. We're not like them. And of course, our salvation is not going to be like theirs. Our organization is not going to be like theirs.
Right.
And if it has to make sense to you before, then just go ahead and live your life out. Right. Don't even try. Don't bother. Because nothing makes sense.
Right.
Does all black make sense to you? Does it make sense? Like, why do you wear all black? Is there a reason?
What we say?
Yeah, what's the reason you wear all black?
I mean, it's explained to me because I'm reborn. Like it's the death of the old me.
No, it don't say that. It don't say nothing about black meaning the death of the old you. Why you wear all black? Because you was told that's what you had to wear. Does it make sense? Does it, in your mind, does wearing black make you a better man to be an officer?
Right. Why don't I wear black to come off?
Yeah, why you have to wear black? Why couldn't it be brown? Get the point? Why couldn't it be, white to signify purity? Black means dirty, right? Black, dingy, dirty, sullen. Why got to be black? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it do to me when it was told to me like
it don't make sense to y'all. Don't even try that.
I'm special.
Don't even try. It don't make sense to you, right? You do it anyway. Do you care? You don't care. But somebody who it has to be logic. But why we got to do that? Why we ain't doing this way? Why that? Just hurry up and leave.
Right.
Go ahead. See that door? You know what the door is for since you're so smart? Yeah, it's for leaving and entering. Do the first one.
Right.
Quickly.
Right.
Let's go. This is not that. This is not that type of place.
Right.
Okay, don't go to university and ask why, if you're a doctor, why you have to do the scalpel cut long ways instead of sideways. You just do it.
Right.
Right? Well, just, since, that don't make no sense, but you go ahead and do it.
Right.
You do the same thing here. So, like, give me the last scripture. I don't want to keep you here all night.
So, like,
You see, he was holding something. The other verse?
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 39. Now, when Mattathias and his friends understood hereby, they mourned for them right sore. Mm-hmm. Verse 40. And one of them said unto another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and the laws against the heathen, they will now quickly uproot us out of the earth.
Read it one more time.
Verse 40. Verse 39. And now when Mattathias and his friends understood thereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them
it was hurt, right, because of course that's what you do. This is the Lord's people at the end of the day. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 40. And one of them said unto another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth.
You understand? Because again, they can just come attack you on the Sabbath, right, and you ain't gonna fight. So Mattathias, being the man that the Lord chose, he was able to make that decision. That to everybody else, that was the decision then. Right. If there was a decision to go to the mountains, they went. The decision now is we're gonna fight all the time, man. Right. Life is a war, right, and that's that. It don't make sense to you, but you better do it. Go ahead.
And when I read this was like super heavy to me. Because I was saying like, damn, like they not just fighting for themselves, they fighting for the Israelite culture, the Lord's culture, the Lord's law. That's how heavy it was to me. Like, damn, like they really fighting to keep the heritage and the culture of Israel to go keep going.
Exactly, to keep that special thing going. And it's the same thing in here. You are brother in here, you are trooper. You get scrutinized if that shirt look more gray than black. When you become an officer, you make sure the next brother who comes in, make sure that shirt stay black. Like that's, fight for that. Because it start changing in 10 years, in 50 years if Christ ain't back. If you want to be a trooper, you can wear anything from gray to beige to brown. It ain't black no more. Fight for the culture we have in here. It don't make sense to nobody else, but this is our way. Right. This is just our way, all right? With that, pass the class over to Priest Officer R1.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3:8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. The next one is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. First day of the 7th month, which is on a Monday, September 6th, 2021. You can find this in Leviticus 23, verses 24 and 25. I.S.U.P.K. upcoming cookout events. The first one started today. Chicago, July 21st to the 25th. That's the first cookout. The second one is in New York, August 19th to the 21st. The third one is Texas, October 7th through October 10th. The fourth one is in Las Vegas, Nevada, November 11th to the 14th. And the last one is Florida. It is in December 2nd to December 6th. Remind Akim and Akwafim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K. events and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headbands, or scarf. With that, say a mitre, which means to stand. One courtesy salute, sir? Yeah. Give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amaitim Shabbat, Amaitim Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham. Yasmata, Saw, which means to turn, sister, you can stand. We give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amaitim Shabbat, Amaitim Barak.
Yahweh Shema Atham Shem Yahushua.
Yasmata, class dismissed.